Hi, Sagittarius. It is me, Renee Michelle, coming to you from Chronicles of a Hoodoo Spiritualist here on YouTube. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. And if you would like to reach me, all the information is down below. Happy New Year. I hope your first week, part of your first week was okay. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. So here we go. This is your weekly reading. This is from January 3rd to January 10th of 2016. Sagittarius. The underlining of the reading, meaning the feeling that is going on underneath what I'm about to discuss with you, is the nine of Pentacles. And as you know, the Nine of Pentacles is one of my favorite people because he is someone who, as the king yells charge, sits back and waits while everybody else takes off, while the Knight of Wands takes off, while the Knight of I almost said the Knight of Spades, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups takes off running. He sits and he waits and he watches, right? He's observant, right? He's studying which way to go. He looks to the right of them and he's right of himself, and he sees that we're losing on that side, so I'm not going in that direction. And he looks to the left side and he sees, oh, we got that side under control, right? And then he sees a little pathway where they're winning and he can see directly to the king. Now he takes off, right? So the underlying feeling for Sagittarius this week is the feeling of taking the time to scope out exactly what you want to do to move forward before you actually take off and do so. The feeling of the energy coming in towards this week is the feeling of being indecisive, not knowing which way to turn, which way to go, right? Not knowing which way to go, which way to turn. You have a choice between two things, and you just pretending like this decision is not even there, like it has nothing to do with you, right? I'm just gonna sit here and pretend just like this ain't us, And maybe the universe or something to happen to make the decision for me, but that's not the case. You're gonna have to make a choice, right? And is this all for me? Is this all there is? I know I have this and this and that, but, is there nothing else? You know what I'm saying? There's stuff coming in, right? You see the young lady sitting with the 3 cups in her hand. What she doesn't notice is behind her, there is a little cup with new things and new ideas coming. Right here. There's a cup right in here. So there's new things coming for you. You just have to wait. At the beginning of the week, love is coming in. New love. Now, this is not necessarily love of the form of, of a new relationship, but love from all sides. Love from friends, families, associates. This is a new beginning or a new reinstatement of love that is already there. Right? And that's Monday. I want to say Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but he said Monday, right? By the middle of the week, you're faced with that decision again, because here's the thing. This is what I call the doorway card, standing at the door. So you guys are standing at the door. You have 2 choices to make, a decision to walk through this door and go one way or go the other. And you're in the beginning, or in the middle of the week, in the middle of the week, It's about you making these choices of which direction to go. Right? Because now you're ready. Coming into this week, you weren't ready for this choice. But by the middle of the week, you'll be ready to start making choices about where to go and what to do on this particular situation. Whatever it is that you're avoiding right now, making a decision on. Towards the end of the week, sometimes we have cards that I can warn you about the end of the week, right? So it says in the future, right, this week, but towards the end, you're going to be in your head a little bit, right? Having those things pile up in your head. I should have, but if I do this, then I'll do that. And if this will happen, then that will happen, then that will happen, then that will happen. And next thing you know, you have this whole big scenario that you've created in your head that doesn't even exist. It's fictitious. And what it does is it keeps you stagnant, and it's built on fear. Stay out your head. And if you got to sing a tune, whatever it is you got to do, then you got to do it. Well, stay out your head. For some of you on this decision, right? And you want to make this decision, you want to make this choice, right? But like I said, you're building up so much in your head about this decision, this choice, that you cannot make it because you're forcing yourself into a box with all these what ifs. If I do this, if I do this, then this will happen. You don't know that. But because of past situations that you haven't dealt with, situations that you haven't been involved with, then this is what you start to do. Okay? And you don't need to do that. Towards the end of the week, I have 2 cards here. And both of them about 2 very specific things, right? You're going to be standing your ground about something, right? That's this card over here. And it's going to provide you with strength. And I'm going to explain to you why. Whatever this is, you're standing your ground, right? This decision you're making, for example. If you decide to stand your ground, which most of you will probably do. I say, look, this is what I want to do, and this is it. And there's going to be people saying, but you could do this, and you could do that. It's almost like being in your head, except it's happening in front of your face. And you could do this, and you could do that instead. Why you want to do that? But this is what I want to do. And you're going to stand your ground in. And in standing your ground, you're going to get rid of a pattern that has been taking place a long time. And I feel that pattern is that people talking you out of what you really want to do, and you doing what everybody thinks is best for you. You're learning that everything that people think is best for you is not necessarily best for you. Sometimes you know what's best for you. Right? Because the woulda, shoulda, couldas that are in your head at the end of the week have to do with and are involved with the fact that every time you try something, people give you all these other scenarios and you end up making the wrong choice. It's not about the choice that you make, right? It's about the fact that you're making a choice that you made for yourself. Huh? All right, Sagittarius. Till next week. Stay blessed. Ashe.